Hello everyone, and welcome back to MoneyPulsar. Some jobs don't seem like they should be expensive until you see what failure actually costs. Take being a nanny, for example. It sounds simple enough. Childcare, supervision, keeping a routine. But did you know some families pay more for their nanny than most people earn in an entire year? This isn't about showing off or living a life of luxury. It's about buying something priceless. Absolute certainty. Today, we're diving into the world of Norland Nannies to uncover why they command such a high price and what that price tag really gets you. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Ever wonder what makes a Norland Nanny so special? So sought after by royals and celebrities? Let me tell you, it's not what you think. This isn't your average childcare. Forget what you know about babysitting courses that last a few weeks or even a few months. Norland Training is a multi-year, intensive degree program that forges the world's most elite caregivers. So, what exactly do they learn? It's a curriculum that sounds more like training for a secret agent than a nanny. They master child development, of course, but also emergency, pediatric first aid, advanced nutrition, and even developmental psychology. But that's just the beginning. They're also trained in personal security and self-defense, learning how to protect their charges from any potential threat. They take advanced driving courses, mastering evasive maneuvers and skid control to ensure safety on the road, no matter the conditions. They even learn crisis management, preparing them for everything from a sudden travel disruption to a major public security concern. Think about that for a second. The whole point of this extreme training is just about having a long list of skills on a resume. It's about something much more profound. It's about removing hesitation. When a crisis hits, a child starts choking, a fire alarm blares, or a security situation unfolds in public, there's no moment of panic. There's no confusion, no fumbling, no delay. Their response is immediate, precise, and automatic. They've drilled these scenarios so many times that the correct action is pure instinct. That's the real product. It's not just childcare. It's absolute peace of mind. That unwavering reliability, that certainty that your children are in the safest possible hands, no matter what happens, that is what families are truly paying for. It's an unparalleled level of preparedness that sets them worlds apart. It's not just about raising a child, it's about protecting them at a level most of us can barely imagine. Pretty incredible, right? Now, think about your own job. Most of us have made a mistake, right? Maybe you sent an email to the wrong person or missed a deadline. You learn from it, you get a second chance, and you move on. For a Norland nanny, that safety net simply doesn't exist. At this elite level of childcare, mistakes aren't just frowned upon, they are completely intolerable. One single error isn't a learning opportunity. It's a permanent mark. Why such an extreme standard? It's all about the environment. The families who hire Norland nannies often lead extraordinary lives, and with that comes extraordinary pressure. Imagine constant public exposure, where every move is scrutinized. Think about a life of non-stop travel, hopping between time zones and unfamiliar places. The settings are often unpredictable, demanding instant adaptation. A simple mistake can snowball into something much, much bigger. The cost of failure isn't just personal embarrassment. We're talking about serious consequences. It could be legal trouble. It could mean catastrophic damage to a family's reputation, something they've spent years building. The fallout can be systemic, affecting everyone involved. This is precisely why the Norland training is so famously rigorous and, some might say, extreme. They aren't just preparing nannies for a job. They're forging professionals capable of thriving in the most unforgiving environments on earth. The training has to be tough because the reality they'll face is even tougher. It's a world where there are no do-overs, and excellence is the only option. So, you might be thinking, if Norland nannies are so incredible and in such high demand, why not just train more of them? Why not expand the college, accept more students, and meet that demand? It seems like a simple business decision, right? Well, that's where Norland College is fundamentally different from almost any other educational institution. They don't scale. And that's entirely by design. The admissions process is notoriously selective. They keep the number of accepted students incredibly small, and the standards are unbelievably strict. Even after students get in, The training is so rigorous that a certain number of dropouts are expected. This isn't a flaw in the system, it's a feature. See, if Norland suddenly decided to triple its class size and churn out nannies like a factory, the one thing that makes them so valuable would be compromised: their unwavering reliability. Think about it. The real product Norland is selling isn't just a nanny. It's absolute, unconditional trust and peace of mind. It's the guarantee of a certain standard of excellence. If you increase supply too quickly, that standard inevitably slips. Quality control becomes a nightmare, and the brand's reputation, built over a century, could be destroyed in a few years. These nannies are not interchangeable parts. They aren't mass-produced commodities you can just swap out. Each one is the result of years of meticulous, personalized training. They're not just taught skills. They're molded into a very specific type of professional. This makes them incredibly difficult to replace. So, when we talk about the scarcity of Norland Nannies, it's not some clever marketing gimmick to drive up prices. It's not artificial scarcity. It's structural. It's woven into the very fabric of what Norland College is and what it stands for. The limited supply is a direct consequence of their uncompromising commitment to quality. By keeping the circle small, they ensure that every single graduate who wears that famous uniform is a true ambassador of the Norland standard. Have you ever wondered why some families spend so much on childcare? It's not really about buying hours of babysitting. Think about it this way. What they're actually paying for is certainty. They're buying predictability in a world where chaos can be incredibly expensive. For households where money isn't the main issue, time is the most valuable resource. Any mistake or disruption can have huge consequences, not just financially, but for their careers and lifestyle. So, when you have enough money, you stop worrying about the cost and start focusing on reducing risk. You're purchasing peace of mind. That's the real product being sold in this high-end market, the guarantee that everything will run smoothly, no matter what. It's a fascinating look at what we value when basic needs are met. We've been talking about the eye-watering cost of elite nannies. But let's be clear, this story isn't just about childcare. It's a window into a much bigger economic shift that affects all of us, whether you have kids or not. What we're really talking about is the changing value of work in the modern world. In today's economy, a lot of jobs are becoming standardized. Average skills, the kind you can learn from a manual or a quick online course, are becoming easier and easier to replace. Technology and global competition mean that routine work, the stuff that's predictable and repetitive, is getting cheaper by the day. This is happening across countless industries, from manufacturing to data entry, and it's putting downward pressure on wages for a huge portion of the workforce. So, if average is becoming less valuable, what's becoming more valuable? The answer is reliability. Specifically, reliability under extreme pressure. Think about situations where the stakes are incredibly high, where mistakes are catastrophic. It could be a surgeon in a complex operation, a pilot landing a plane in a storm, or a cybersecurity expert defending against a massive attack. In these moments, you don't want someone with average skills. You need someone you can trust. Someone who has been trained to perform flawlessly when everything is on the line. This kind of calm, competent reliability is becoming incredibly rare. And in economics, what is rare is what becomes valuable. What is rare gains pricing power. This brings us back to the Norland Nannies. They're not just expensive because of some fancy elite label. They are expensive because they are the product of a system designed to create absolute, unwavering reliability. The Norland Institute isn't just a college. It's a factory for trust. They train their nannies to handle any crisis with unshakable composure. When parents are paying for a Norland nanny, they aren't just buying childcare. They are buying peace of mind. They are buying a guarantee that when failure is absolutely not an option, their nanny will be the most dependable person in the room. And that, right there, is the core insight. In a world increasingly filled with replaceable labor and automated tasks, systems that can consistently produce human reliability are becoming extraordinarily valuable. It's a premium paid for trust when the cost of failure is too high to even consider. The real lesson here isn't about nannies. It's about identifying where reliability is most critical in our economy. because that's where true value and pricing power will be found in the future. If this video helped you understand the systems behind the prices a little more clearly, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. Share it with someone who might find it interesting, and make sure you subscribe to Money Pulsar. Here, we don't just react to the headlines, we explain the forces that create them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.